like to call to order the town board. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fisher?
Here.
Trustee McDowell?
Here.
Trustee McKinney?
Here.
Trustee Deteen?
Here.
Chairman Neal?
Here. We can begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There are no agenda changes this evening, so we move on to the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting held April 17th, 2018 at 6:30 p.m. Is there a motion?
Move to approve minutes from the April 17th meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Item 6, any citizens' comments this evening? No. Okay, hearing none, we move on to item 7, authorized bills for payment. Trustee Deteen.
Yes, I had an opportunity to meet with the Township Supervisor today, discussing our bills for this month at a total to $70,607.30, and I respectfully request that the trustees pass this bill.
Second.
Okay, discussion. I'd like to open up by telling you that there are a number of items that were put to the wrong line items this month. We did the switch over for the new fiscal year, so this ended the fiscal year and moved into the other one, and they had some problems with the system, and as we went through it today, and it's just items where, under dues and subscriptions, if you notice on the actual, let me see what page it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Page 4, dues and subscriptions, it says $289. That's actually not true, that was for cleaning service. So it was misnumbered. So all of the items are, they're covered in the check registry, they were just as well as under travel meetings. This was not this high a number. We purchased mugs. And the reason we purchased mugs was one of the things that we've realized is especially like the social workers and the different individuals who are working on the front line, they tend to forget that we're available. And so we asked them what was one item that we could get that would help them to remind. And so we purchased coffee mugs to be able to help remind them to be able to do that we can give out as items. Then what else? Under SUDA, on the next page for summer work for, it says SUDA SWP. That was actually to be billed to the assessor's office. They put it under the wrong line item. Let's see. And then Larry, there was one question about liability insurance. Is there, it looked like it more than doubled. Would that be true?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay, all right, we'll check that out for next month. That was something that was brought up in the meeting, just to double check that.
I think we came up with a percentage that you were gonna pay and I was gonna pay, or?
Yeah, we'll need to check that for the other, so. And then just on the next page, under contractual services, general assistance, and it's in town fund and general assistance, we did go over substantially in that line item. But that was because we got we went with the copier company. So now the amount went down in office supplies, but it went up in rental services. So just so that you're aware of that. That might be it. And then under general assistance fund, under the community support, it's got $1,500 in the substance abuse counseling, and then taken out $1,500 in the workforce development page amount. And that was we contracted with Waukegan Township to assist our clients that have felony convictions to either get them expunged or sealed and help them with soft skills to get back into the workforce. And we had done a contract, written the check, quite a while, last June, and they never cashed it. So we voided out the check, and then they found it in June. So we resubmitted the check. So it was not supposed to be under the substance abuse counseling. It's actually supposed to go under workforce development. So all of those line items are cashed out. So that was another mistake that they made. And I think that was it. Those were all the things that I caught. And then if you look, when you look in the check registry, it says, my name is in there twice for my expense reports. And that's just because I put in my April expense report on April 30th to make sure that it went into that budget line item. So that's all of my comments, just to keep you up. We will be making those corrections. So the numbers don't change, they just go into a different.
Correct items.
Yeah. So, and I do want to, once again, really thank Trustee Fisher. If you notice in the finances this month, it's the first time that no employees' names are mentioned where there's medical pieces, and then no names or there's nothing that we had to redact with the general assistance pages either, because we assigned each person a number so that it keeps it confidential. So thank you for helping us to come up with that idea. So is there anything else with the financials? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Item 8, consider approval of a proclamation for Poverty Awareness Day as June 26, 2018. I was contacted by the Lake County Community Foundation asking if we would claim a day this year for poverty awareness, and we decided to partner it with our summer work program and lined up going over to work over at Abiding Love Food Pantry to work in their pantry, as well as then in the afternoon all the kids will be going to Feed My Starving Children to do some work. So wanted to just not have like a day where there was no real recognition, but to have a couple of events. So would appreciate on behalf of the Lake County Community Foundation passing this proclamation. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve this proclamation.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? I'll wait for Mike to finish reading.
I think it's a good thing to do, combined with a day of service, helping out the local.
So, and if any of you are interested in coming and joining us, that would be awesome if you're available. I'll bring it up to the mayor too. You never know. Well, you kind of know. So we have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
There's a second.
There is a second. Okay. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Next item on the agenda, this was brought up quite a few different times. We've either bumped right up against the 7 o'clock mark or actually gone over a few times. And I would like just to have a discussion to see if it's something that we would like to consider moving our actual meetings from.
You skipped 9.
Did I?
Yes.
Approval of the budget.
Oh, I did. I checked it off. Okay, so let's go back to number 9. So, okay, number 9 is consider approval of the 2018-19 Zion Township budget, May 1st, 2018 through April 30, 2019, per Chairman Neal. Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion Boyd and Trustee Fisher. Any discussion? I do really appreciate the feedback that I've gotten over time, allowing us to have the space to be able to have the different conversations, to make sure that what we're doing, everybody was on board for. And we take that responsibility very seriously, so thank you. Yeah, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Now, number 10, consider changing the township board meeting time from 6:30 PM to 6:15 PM for Chairman Neal.
We're doing pretty good right now.
We are today. Today we're doing good,
today.
right? We haven't gotten into my report yet. No. So.
Well, sometimes it's good to have that,
Yeah.
hard time limit of
Yes.
7 o'clock,
Yes.
Gotta stop.
And then, do we need to have a motion before we can discuss?
No.
Okay, good. The other piece to it, though, is when we do have something that we really do need to discuss, and we can't because, the city council meeting has to happen. Those are the times that it's a little frustrating if it's a
Is this your
matter that.
recommendation that we change the time?
Is it my recommendation?
I think 6:15 would be good. We could use some extra time sometimes. If we get done a little early, gives you guys a little break between the next meeting.
That's true, then we're not jumping directly from one meeting to another,
Right.
so.
You can change your hat.
So we go from 6:15 to 6:45, is that the?
In general, unless we go till 7 o'clock. Unless we want to do it at 6 o'clock. But we can't because it's not on the agenda. Look at, and she's
Right.
giving me the look, so that means we're not doing 6.
No.
What's that? So any other thoughts about it?
You could discuss it for next time and pass it next time.
Well, that's true too.
But you can't pass it today.
Right, yeah.
Any other thoughts about it?
Well, anybody else have any thoughts about starting this
I'm-
meeting a little earlier?
I'm fine with it. Because it does seem difficult sometimes when you have things that need to be put out for the public to know, and we seem a little rushed. So I don't have any issue with it starting at 6:15.
Sounds good to me.
Well, would someone like to put that in the form of a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Motion second. Any further discussion? So beginning the June meeting, we'll have the meeting at 6:15 PM. Okay. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
See?
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
See?
See,
Item 11, Assessor's Report.
Okay, I'm sure everybody knows the tax bills are out. Something that seems like is happening a lot this year is a lot of seniors are coming in and not receiving their regular senior exemption. And then when I tell them about the regular senior exemption, I say, well, I hate to ask people how much they make. I say, well, there's another exemption called the senior freeze. If you make less than $65,000, your assessment will be frozen. And they don't realize they're entitled to that. And with the assessment being froze and their tax rate going down, the seniors are the ones that are seeing the savings. So, I mean, anytime we talk to seniors, make sure that they're getting the exemptions that they deserve, because with the tax rates the way they are, they're the ones that are going to save the money with the tax rate going down. And there's another exemption, it's a veteran's disabled. And if you're 70% disabled, you do not have to pay any taxes at all in the state of Illinois. So that's another big one that a lot of people aren't aware of. Besides that, actually, it's been a pretty calm time since the tax bills are out. Everybody is starting to realize what the situation is, and everybody's been pleasant to work with this year.
It's calm in the assessor's office.
It really is. I think that they're starting to realize that Sherry and I, if you look at your tax bill, we're only 2% of your tax bill. And then when I explain to the cities, only 12%. I think they're starting to understand that it's not my fault. I'm just here to put the value on it. But we're still early at this, so it's not.
Why people can vent on Facebook, that's why.
And I'm not on Facebook, so is that what's happening?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I stay off of Facebook, but
Good thing. Is that information,
Mentioned a few times in those Facebook posts.
that's why I stay off.
yeah. Is that information about seniors and
I mean,
and disabled veterans? Do we have that information disseminated publicly?
It's on it comes when you get your blue notice, and probably this year you'll probably get it in August. That's where your assessment notice is. And then on your tax bill, there was a little flyer that went with it. It's on the webpage. I mean, unless I stand on the corner with a sign, I don't know how else we can
Could
get
you do
the
a
word
mailing
out.
to the seniors? Because you know who the seniors are, right?
And what's the senior, or what's the age for seniors?
65. what happens when you turn 65, you need to come into the office and we'll sign you up for the senior. And once if you're 65 and you make less than $65,000, you bring your income taxes and we fill out the form, then your assessment's frozen. You never have to come in for the senior, because you're always going to be 65. But every year you have to come in for your senior freeze to reapply to make sure you're still below the $65,000. But, you know, Sherry, that might not be a bad idea. I don't know how much money I have in postage, but the problem is we want to catch them when they're 65 right away. Do I know when they turn 65? No. I know that they're 65, and usually once they get the senior exemption, we keep them aware of that they should be signing up to senior freeze. Because if you don't sign up for the senior freeze 1 year, the county sends a letter out asking why you haven't signed up for the freeze again. But it would be nice to be able to send the people something out when they're 65 years old, but how do you know? We don't have that information.
Right.
So.
Well, but not just the seniors when they're 60, because if they didn't sign up for it, right, then if they're 70, they should still sign up.
Oh, yeah, I just had a gentleman come in the other day that was 70 years old, that never had either one of the exemptions, and he was entitled to both of them. And he was the happiest man alive in my office. He
Right.
just thought that was the greatest thing. I mean, he saved thousands of dollars in taxes.
Retroactive.
Yes, if the senior freeze and the senior, we can go back 1 year. So it was, his adjusted tax bill for the second installment was almost nothing. So he was really happy.
Yeah, so if there were a way, if you wanted to do a two-sided flyer, we can have my staff translate it and put it in Spanish on the back of it and just send out a page to all the seniors and just let them know. And the homeowners, right? So you
Right.
could just send it to all the homeowners that are
Yeah,
seniors.
we could try something like that.
And if you're 65 and you make over $65,000,
You're not entitled to the freeze, but you're still entitled to the senior exemption, which is $5,000 off your assessment.
all right. 20 more years, I can look forward to that.
24 years? Hey, Bill, I remember we went to school similar times.
All right, any other questions for us?
Anything else?
Mr. Wickets, several months ago, you stated that the county assessor was ignoring your reports and flat out raising every evaluation by 10%, I believe is what you said.
Well, what he did was he did not allow me to do my job. What he said that properties in Zion were all going up 10%. Well, that's not true. It's an average of 10% that all the values went up. But if I had my way to do my job the way I was elected to do, there would be certain neighborhoods that I would raise up maybe 12 or 13%. There would be some neighborhoods that I would raise only 7 or 8% up. So in an average, it would come up to be 10%, but he's come up with the idea that we're only allowed to change our values once every 4 years, which is the quadrennial reassessment, which is next year. The problem with that is next year when I value the properties, some properties are going to go up maybe 20 or 30%, and some of them will go down a little bit. So he's not letting me do our job. We did have a lawsuit that we had against the Chief County Assessment Office, the Treasurer, the Lake County Board. It was dismissed, but we are refiling it again, and it'll be in court again.
But in the meantime...
In the meantime, well, it's too late this year because I'll be turning my books in a couple, about 2 months, and the values are going up about 7% again this next year. But it's the following year when it's the reassessment year where I'll look at each neighborhood individually, each house type individually, and make adjustments to each neighborhood in a different rate.
In the meantime, my house went up 10%.
Meantime, your house went up 10%, and next year, everybody's house will probably go up about 7%, right across the board.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Anything else? Okay. Next item is the supervisor's report. Just to share with you, so May 29th is the last day that we will be doing LAHEAP applications. That's low energy home energy assistance for seniors and individuals primarily on disability and low income. We do those appointments every Tuesday from 1 until 3 p.m. Call the Township if you want more information on that. Zinnians for Zion is in full bloom. And we have 1,500 of these packets packed and ready to go. There are 12 different agencies that are handing out free zinnia seeds. And in the packet, we actually have flyers for all the different events that are going on this summer. On this side, it says don't miss out. And then if you turn it over, it's actually in Spanish so that residents that have a hard time reading English can also participate. In that packet, we also put a township brochure so that individuals can know the programs that we provide and, of course, a free packet of zinnia seeds. So anybody that's interested in having those, you can go to any of the taxing bodies, Zion Township, the City of Zion, the Library, the Park District, and then there's businesses around town, and you can see the sign that shares where they're being distributed at. Senior Resource Day was a huge success. If anybody did not attend and wants one, we have the senior resource guides here, and it actually has information for all the different agencies and what they provide. It's just to help with different resources. Nextdoor.com we're still moving forward to make it a comprehensive communication tool. Also, tomorrow, the Zion Township will be hosting the Lake County Supervisors Meeting. We will be there's a program called SOAR, where it trains case managers to help individuals who are applying for Social Security disability. Adriana Ortiz in our office went through that training, and it has been just a huge help with individuals that come in because the process is so daunting, and to be able to know how to guide residents that are going through that, just a huge benefit. But it was a very intensive training, so they're going to be coming tomorrow to talk about that with the supervisors, as well as the Lake County Homeless Coalition will be presenting. Summer work program is set to launch on June 18th, and I know I say it every year, but I think this year is the best kids ever. We're going to be hiring 33 14 and 15-year-olds, and we have the 4 supervisors that each have 7 on their crew, and then 5 of the kids are going to be at, 2 will be at North Point Resources, and 3 will be at the Zion Benton Public Library. We also the high school received a grant. We are going to be doing a book club with the kids, and Kellogg is going to be coming out for that program. The kids are going to be reading 3 books, Ms. Marvel, now I'm drawing a blank, March, and The Hate You Give. And so they're all getting those books for free. We'll be doing that with Ms. Deb Will, who is the librarian at the high school, and the kids are all really excited about it. It's a good thing, we hope. So we'll see how that goes. As well, Zion Township will begin processing passports on Tuesdays and Thursdays beginning June 1st. So that was a big deal. 3 of us in the office had to go through the entire training, so we're staged and ready to go for that beginning June 1. Please promote Zion Together, Love Thy Neighbor competition. You can go to their website, ziontogether.com. I also have some flyers for that, and the information is in the handy dandy purple packets. So let's see. And I want to do a shout out to, they had Swarm It Forward, where the kids came from the high school and they did all of the wood chips for the township. They did projects all over the community, picking up garbage, and just another huge success. The ELL kids came to be able to do that, so that was pretty good. I just want to share one last thing. So this packet, it's wonderful. It gives all the information for, not all, but a lot of the programs that are going on this summer, but this would be much easier. So one of the things that we budgeted for was to find a more collaborative way to be able to put information out in the community. And so one of the things that I would like to begin promoting with the different taxing bodies is having the Park District puts out this activity guide for the season with all of their programs. I would love to be able to do a collaborative piece that we all send out together. So I've talked a little bit to the other taxing bodies, and they've said that they would be interested in it, but that's as far as I've gotten. I haven't gotten any details, so I just wanted to plant that seed and let you know that that's something that, if we could do something like that quarterly or something, because trying to do something to get all the information out to the residents is very daunting, so especially this many. But we had incredible volunteers that came all last week to help. The Carmel Housers pulled it off. They finished them all up for me. I brought them over there Friday, and they did them all Saturday, so really grateful for the volunteers in the community. So with that said, And just to let everybody know, each month we do a monthly report, and it's on our website, and it just shares the, the incoming calls, the walk-ins, the number of resource appointments we do, the general assistance appointments, emergency assistance, people that go through the financial counseling. So it gives a monthly summary, so that everybody can know that. And really proud of the work that we're doing. And I think I mentioned this last month, but the funds that we were able to access for residents in last year, 2017, was over $125,000. So the 4 of us in the office, we're all hands on deck, and we see up to 22 residents from 1 until 3 o'clock, and that we were able to help them access those funds. If they would have had to make appointments at CAP, it would take weeks, sometimes months to be able to get in, but because we do the walk-in appointments, we're literally able to see every resident that's trying to get in. We've only had one Tuesday that we've had to turn somebody away because there were just too many. But really proud of the work that my team's doing with that. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Hello, Ms. Prada.